Everlasting Word Ministry was once the pride of Lagos. People rushed to church early to secure a seat, eager to experience worship that left them feeling renewed. The choir was powerful. When they sang, it was as if heaven had opened. Songs like, "Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee." And songs like, "How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great, oh, how great is our God." Songs like that would stay in people's hearts even after they left church, replaying in their minds throughout the week. But things had changed. The choir had become a shadow of its former self. Their voices cracked, their harmonies clashed, and the worship sessions left the congregation cringing instead of uplifted. One Sunday, they attempted to sing "How Great Thou Art," but it was a disaster. The altos were off key, the drummer missed his beats, and the lead singer lost her voice mid-song, something that sounded like this. "How great thou art!" A murmur spread through the congregation. Some people buried their heads in their hands, while others shook their heads in disappointment. After service, Mama Nkechi, one of the elders, confronted Pastor Matthew. Pastor, I have something to say. We cannot continue like this now. This choir is chasing people away, not bringing them in." Pastor Matthew sighed, wiping his forehead. "I know, Mama Nkechi, I know. We need a solution." One afternoon, during the executive council meeting, Deaconess Ireti clapped her hands together, shaking her head. "Pastor, let us not deceive ourselves. I said so. Yes, our church is losing members every day now. Is this how we will fold our arms and watch?" Pastor Matthew nodded. "I agree with you, Deaconess Ireti. We need a choir master, someone experienced, someone who can make our choir great again." After much prayer, they placed an advert, and then Michael Lawson walked into their lives. Michael Lawson arrived at the church office dressed sharply, his presence exuding confidence. "Pastor Matthew," he said smoothly, shaking the pastor's hand, "I've been following your ministry. It will be an honor to serve." Pastor Matthew leaned forward. "Your credentials are impressive. You worked at Victory Tabernacle in Houston, is that correct?" Michael nodded. "Yes, sir. I built their choir from scratch. In no time, we were ministering to thousands." "So, why did you leave then?" Pastor Matthew asked, his eyes narrowing slightly. Michael's face faltered briefly. "Oh, Pastor, it's family. I felt led to return home to serve." Desperate for a turnaround, the church welcomed him with open arms. Michael wasted no time. He changed the rehearsal schedules, introduced new vocal training, and disciplined the singers. Within weeks, the choir was transformed. People started returning to church just to hear them sing. Worship sessions became powerful again, and songs like, "You are Yahweh, you are Yahweh, you are Yahweh, Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh, Alpha, Omega." Songs like that had the congregation in tears. After service, people whispered excitedly, "Ah, this is the best choir in Lagos. Nobody can. You won't try? Ah, if you hear them sing, you will think that angels are in that church." Pastor Matthew smiled as he watched the congregation swell. "God is moving. God is moving. Yes, brother," he whispered. But something wasn't right. Michael took special interest in the young male choir members. One evening, he pulled Chike, a gifted tenor, aside. "Chike, your voice is good though. Don't get me wrong, your voice is good, but it needs more something, it needs more depth to it." Chike beamed. "Sir, I want to be great. So what do I do?" Michael smiled. "Come by my office tomorrow night. I will teach you a special technique." This technique, oh, when you apply it, you will see how your voice will just be flowing like honey. I tell you. Chike wasn't the only one. Over the next few weeks, he invited 6 boys for private mentoring sessions. Each boy was told the same thing, an exclusive technique used by top vocalists. When they arrived at Michael's office, they met a dimly lit room filled with a heavy scent of cologne. Michael gestured for them to sit down. "Listen, boys, what I'm about to tell you is a secret among professionals. Are you listening?" Yes, sir, we're listening." The boys listened eagerly. "You see, to reach your next level, you need to purify your body." The boys hesitated, but Michael reassured them. "This is science. All the greats do it. Trust me, all the great vocalists, they do it. Don't be deceived." One by one, the boys complied. Daniel, one of the choir's strongest voices, felt uneasy after his first private session with Michael. He confided in his friend Toby. "Toby, something is not right," Daniel whispered after rehearsal. What do you mean?" Toby asked. Daniel hesitated, glancing around before speaking. Michael asked me to do something strange. He said it will help my voice, but it felt wrong." Toby frowned. "What did he ask you to do?" Daniel shook his head. I can't say, but I don't think it's normal." Kelechi, a shy alto, had also looked up to Michael. When the choir master asked him for a private session, he felt honored. But after it was over, guilt weighed on him heavily. At home, he stared at himself in the mirror, his heart pounding. "Hey, what have I done? What have I done?" he whispered to himself. He avoided Michael at rehearsals, but the choir master noticed. "Kelechi, you've been acting strange. Are you okay?" Michael asked, his voice calm yet firm. "Yes, sir," Kelechi lied, forcing a smile. Inside, he wanted to scream. Samuel, a stubborn but outspoken member of the choir, was the only one who outright refused Michael's request. "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't do that," Samuel said, standing his ground. Michael's smile tightened. "Samuel, I'm trying to help you." "No, sir. This doesn't feel right," Samuel said firmly, grabbing his bag and walking out of the office. That night, he sent an anonymous message to Pastor Matthew. "Sir, something is wrong with Michael. Please investigate." Michael's plan was perfect. The boys were too ashamed to talk. The church was booming and his bank account was growing. But then something happened. One of the boys, Emmanuel, started feeling weak. He was constantly dizzy, always exhausted. One day he collapsed during choir practice. Pastor Matthew rushed to him. "Emmanuel, what is happening to you?" I don't know, sir," Emmanuel whispered. His parents rushed him to the hospital. Tests revealed dangerously low hormone levels. The doctor frowned. What has this boy been doing? This is not normal for someone of his age. Terrified, Emmanuel finally spoke. He revealed everything. That evening, Pastor Matthew and the church elders stormed Michael's office. "Michael," the pastor said, placing a vial on his desk. "What is this?" Michael's face turned pale. "Pastor, I can explain." "Explain what?" the pastor shouted. "You deceived these boys. You used the church for your dirty business." Michael swallowed hard. There was no escape. By Sunday, the whole church knew. Michael was arrested, and the choir found its strength again, singing with voices that would never be silenced. The end.